and go to the song while you cannot commit to Sergei and Sergei. Put a boo song again. Let's have some quiet. Watch what is happening here.
Safo, Dunya, hot burning in war.
Abogini Shiklembona, Howie, Nina Pushi, Fiamia, continuing
among the Fofi, Kushing, Tawi, Aben Timo, Mobument, Mobument for taking us school. Tezosha, Abon, so take a chamber, in the Senui, only a good to go be and Fiamia, good Tawi, Mark Bentimon, Bobby.
On behalf of the Agricultural and Development Association, we welcome His Royal Highness Onangwako IV, and we understand the challenges that face you and the ready to continue to support you and our brothers and sisters back home. You're welcome to the United States of America, and we hope that you will come another time.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and welcome to this very special edition of Open Mic. Open Mic. That means open microphone. And if you have been following us here on a regular basis, you would have noticed that with Open Mic, we don't just talk to you, we allow you to talk to us, to talk to the audience. So today we are back on Open Mic, and what we're going to do tonight is to revisit the elections of yesterday. And may I say to you, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of fraud everywhere in the territory that is called Cameroon. The CPDM is doing everything. They have turned on the machine to make sure that every win attributed to ELECTIO0NS in any of the 10 regions, yes, in any of their 10 regions is destroyed, is vanished. That is what is going on as I speak to you. And I am going to bring you some of those results which are being published essentially from Cameroon's Territorial Administration Ministry. That is the ministry that Paul Atanganji is in charge. They have essentially, I think I have about 10 results from 10 regions of La République du Cameroon coming from a certain think tank. The name I am waiting for, a think tank that operates within Tang Atanganji's Ministry of Territorial Administration. They have put out results from 10 regions, and it will shock you. It will shock you. ELECTIO0NS is not even articulated to have won in the north, not even in Garoua, not even in Maroua. It will shock you what is going on in La République du Cameroon right now as far as these elections are concerned. And I am here to bring you to tell you and show you some of the evidence of what is going on the ground. And of course, the microphone will be open. The microphone will be open for you to call in. And I really like to hear from you if you are anywhere on the ground in Cameroon and in Ambazonia, and you witness anything, you are seeing anything, you are hearing anything. We're going to open the phone lines for you to call in and tell us what you have seen and what you have heard. And that is what Open Mic is all about. That is what Open Mic is all about. So please, I'd like you to tune in, stay put, and hit your share button. Yesterday, we hit over 1,000 people watching live on YouTube, and about 300 others watching on Facebook. So go ahead and hit your share button if you are watching on YouTube. Copy the link and send to others, because I am about to bring you exactly what the temperature is now on the ground, and the distortion, the fraud that is taking place on the ground. And you know, I am talking to people on the ground, people that matter, people who are saying things that matter. I listen to them, I talk to them, and you know I'm the best friend of ELECTIO0NS, right? I'm his best friend, so you can tell that I am getting some information from there. But please stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for staying put out there again today. This is Open Mic. Open Mic means if you are watching and listening to me, you can call any moment, talk about the subject of the day, which is the elections in La République du Cameroon yesterday. As I come to you, all the results have been counted and submitted to ELECAM, Cameroon Election Organizing Body. ELECAM will put all the results together, send it to the Constitutional so-called Council, and the Constitutional Council within 10 days, or is it 12 weeks? Actually, deadline is in 10 days for the Constitutional Council to announce those results. So that is what is going on. It happened yesterday. But the thing is, everywhere, ladies and gentlemen, everywhere it is fraud, it is fraud, it is fraud everywhere on the ground. I do not know what Cameroonians are going to do to reclaim their victory, because it is evidence from what we saw coming from the polling stations yesterday that Issa Chiroma won not less than 85% of total vote cast. 85% of total vote cast. But apparently what is going on is that the results are being spun. I talked to people in Yaoundé today and they said the city was quiet. Because even in the strongholds of Paul Biya in Yaoundé, including the neighborhood Bastos, where Paul Biya himself voted, Chiroma won in that community. And it was the same everywhere in all of Yaoundé, Central Province, or Central Region, they call it. But unfortunately, the rigging machine, the fraud, is everywhere evident. Now, I'm going to come to that. But the good news about this is other opposition leaders are coming out and telling the world that Chiroma won fair and square, and a particular letter that is coming from Akeremona, which I like to read to you, is actually calling upon Paul Biya to do the right thing, to behave himself. Let me read what is coming from Akeremona. In a stirring post-election message titled A New Dawn, opposition leader Akeremona of the Universe Party has called on Cameroon institutions and political class to respect the will of the people as vote counting continues across the country. Barrister Muna, who entered the race through coalition with Bello Buba Maigari of the National Union for Democracy and Progress, UNDP, said early trends from the ongoing tally clearly reflect, and I quote, the voice of the Cameroonian people clear, resounding and undeniable, end of quote. Drawing parallels from the historic elections of 1992, Akeremona, the former Transparency International Vice President, described this moment as a threshold of a new dawn, urging the competent institutions of the Republic to align immediately with people's mandate, I hope you can hear that and understand that. Addressing President Paul Biya directly, Akeremona commended his years of service, but invited him to cement his legacy by respecting the outcome of the vote, by urging Biya to respect the outcome of the vote. The ultimate measure of your legacy, Akeremona wrote, will not be written solely by the years you govern, but by the grace and wisdom with which you heed the people's voice, Akeremona said. Accept the election results with dignity and be ready to cede power peacefully, Akeremona wrote. He praised the spirit of unity among some opposition forces and expressed gratitude that the people have succeeded where politicians had once hesitated to form a single front. Akaremona also appealed to all candidates to put the nation's stability above political rivalry. In the spirit of patriotism and for the sake of national cohesion, he said, we urge you to unite in this call for calm, peace, and respect for the electoral verdict. Describing the moment as a pivotal test of our democracy, he called on all Cameroonians to embrace peace, progress, and the sovereign will of the people, adding that the world is watching. The world is watching. Again, that is Akaremona speaking there. As the nation awaits the official declaration of the results, Akaremona's message resonates as both a call for restraint and reminder of the democratic ideals that many Cameroonians continue to fight for. May this new chapter be one of unity, prosperity, and renewed hope for all Cameroonians, wrote Akaremona. That was put out after the results came up yesterday, and he was essentially duly acknowledging that his own party and his alliance with Buba Bello went nowhere. They did not get, I don't think they got even 3% of the national vote. And so Akaremona is bound out gracefully by congratulating the people of Cameroon and asking Paul Biya to cede power peacefully, and asking Paul Biya to respect the people's verdict, that elected Issa Chiroma yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. So Issa Chiroma is essentially now the president-elect of La République du Cameroon. Issa Chiroma is the president-elect. I will go out. Okay, let me take this message. I was trying to update you guys on what is happening in the Cameroon. Give me 1 second. Stay tuned, please. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so you are looking there at the president-elect of La République du Cameroon. But I have something to tell you. Something is happening at this moment that I speak. Something is happening at this moment I speak. The CPDM, Gregoire Owana, is reporting that Issa Chiroma has conceded defeat. I hope you hear me. At this moment, as I come to you, the CPDM, Gregoire Owana, has reported live on television that Issa Chiroma has accepted defeat, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, he has put this out in the social media, which I will definitely bring to you. Gregoire Owana, I think he is one of the big wigs executive officers in the CPDM party. Somebody may correct me who exactly he is, but I know for sure he is a big wig in the CPDM formation. He is reporting that Issa Chiroma has conceded defeat in the election. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, I can assure you that is not true at all. It's a lie. And the breaking news I would like to add is that Issa Chiroma is, as I speak, as I come to you, recording a speech that he will be sending out. I am waiting for a copy of that speech from Issa Chiroma. So that is what is happening right now, ladies and gentlemen. Gregoire Owana has just put out a statement asserting that Issa Chiroma has accepted defeat and has congratulated Paul Biya. Again, that is coming from the CPDM fraud organization, fraud machine led by Gregoire Owana. But again, as I speak to you, Issa Chiroma is recording a speech that will be put out. I am sure that speech will disclaim what Gregoire Owana has put out. Again, it is part of the fraud machinery. It is part of the fraud machinery. So they are already out there saying Issa Chiroma has considered lose and essentially preparing the minds of people. That is how they do the mind game, preparing the minds of people to give up, to surrender, to be weakened ever before the official results come out. If a government official is out on the social media telling the population that Issa Chiroma has conceded defeat, whereas the official results have not been pronounced, what is, number one, Paul Atanganji going to do to him? Number two, the National Communication Council, what are they going to do? This is important because I read a statement this morning, which I think we have here from the so-called National Communication Council. That is a statement there, threatening the media, warning Cameroonians, warning social media to stop proliferating results out there. So now, what is the National Communication going to do when Gregoire Owana steps out and go on the social media and publish articles that say that Issa Chiroma has conceded? What is Atanganji going to do? What is the National Communication Council, so-called, going to do? And I'd like to read the statement from the National Communication Council so that you can hear what they have said out there. And that is a statement from the so-called National Communication Council. I will read that statement to you, ladies and gentlemen. I will read that. Let me see, I can locate that statement. What Gregoire Owana has put out is in French, and I don't have good knowledge of French to do that, to read it. So please hold on there. Let me look for the statement from the National Communications Council, and read to you what they have put out there. All right. This is what the National Communication Council has written, ladies and gentlemen. I read it again. The National Communication Council, NCC, has observed with great concern a widespread proliferation of impetuous and unauthorized publication. Let me do this first so you can have that there. Now, this is what the National Communication Council has put out there, a copy of which you have on your screen there. Now, I am reading this in the backdrop of a whole minister, a government official going on the social media and publishing information to the effect that Issa Chiroma has conceded defeat in the face of the so-called National Communication Council saying that nobody at all should go out and publish results. And also you consider Paul Atanganji, the Minister of Territorial Administration, warning citizens and warning the media not to dare publish anything. My question, what are they going to do to these CPDM regime cronies who are now officially wanting the world to believe that defeat has been conceded by Issa Chiroma? Listen to the comment from the National Communication Council that they put out this morning, and it reads, the National Communication Council, NCC, has observed with great concern a widespread proliferation of impetuous and unauthorized publications being presented as the results of the presidential election. This content, disseminated across traditional and social media, poses a significant threat to the integrity of the electoral process. In response to this dangerous misconduct, the NCC, in its role of ensuring the freedom of mass communication in accordance with current laws, issues a reminder. The law's reference to polling station results is distinct from the final result of an election. The statistics currently being disseminated are partial, local, and provisional figures. These preliminary tallies remain subject to verification and correction by intermediary electoral bodies before the final and official proclamation by the Constitutional Council. The object of this often selective and unverified hasty dissemination is to mislead public opinion while undermining the integrity of the election process. The NCC reminds media managers and social media users that the Constitutional Council is the sole legally authorized institution with the power to proclaim the final results of the presidential election. Any other proclamation, they say, or publication that usurps this competence has no legal standing and is a serious infringement on the credibility of this electoral process. Consequently, the National Communication Council urges media professionals and social media users to espouse civic-mindedness, restraint, and responsibility by strictly adhering to the legal framework that governs the electoral process. The Council reserves the right to take appropriate action where necessary. The Council reserves the right to take appropriate action where necessary. Again, this is very important, ladies and gentlemen, because this is directed at citizens, not at their officials. Again, coming on the heels of Gregoire Owana out there in the social media, telling the world that Issa Chiroma has conceded defeat. Well, I don't know if maybe some of you out there have read a statement from Issa Chiroma or have seen him address his voters. Not yet. In fact, as I speak to you, Issa Chiroma is right now making an address. Issa Chiroma at this moment, as I speak to you, is recording an address to send out to debunk the lies and the fraud that is coming from the CPD and from Gregoire Owana. He is recording that speech. I am waiting to get a copy of that speech, and the moment I get it, I will make sure that I read it right here for all of you to listen. In the meantime, it is very important, ladies and gentlemen, that I bring you the fraud that is going on out there. There is a department, I don't know what I call it, a department or a group in Atanganji's Ministry of Territorial Administration that is called Department of Elections and Referenda. Department of Elections and Referenda. Again, this is a department in Atanganji's Ministry of Territorial Administration. That department of Elections and Referenda within the Ministry of Paul Atanganji, ladies and gentlemen, has already published results from 7 of their 10 regions. I want to include Ambazonia there because they still claim it, right? And some people voted there. So, that Department of Elections and Referenda in the Ministry of Territorial Administration in Yaoundé has already published results from 7 out of 10 regions. And I'm going to bring you those results right here so you can see for yourself. Let's start from here now. Look at this one. Look, this is from the Northwest. Paul Biya, the set score 73%. Isa Chiroma only 23%. Bubabelo Maigare 1%. Akeremona 0. Cabra Libi 3%. 3%. That is according to them from the Northwest. Now, ladies and gentlemen, do not forget, these results are coming from the desk of Paul Atanganji, the Minister of Territorial Administration, produced under his watch and duly published, and yet their so-called National Communication Council is out there telling Cameroonians not to dare put anything on the social media or for the media to dare publish anything. And the media in Cameroon is bound to the threat. How do you fight for your freedoms? You cannot fight for your freedom by remaining mute. So that is the result according to the Ministry of Territorial Administration in Cameroon for Bamenda. 73% for Paul Biya, 23% for Isaiah Chiroma, 1% for Bello Buba, Akeremona 0, Cabra Libi 3%. Let's look at another one now. That is the first one, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this other result. This is from the Southwest. So according to Paul Atanganji, Ministry of Territorial Administration, Paul Biya won 60% in the Southwest. Isa Chiroma won 28%, 28% in the Southwest. Buba Bello won 2%. Akeremona won 8%. Cabra Libi won 2%. 2% in the Southwest. Again, that is according to Paul Atanganji's Ministry of Territorial Administration. Before I came to you live, I heard that there is rancor in Bamenda between Elekam and Yaoundé. Yaoundé wants Elekam in Bamenda is refusing to certify the result that Bamenda that the Northern Zone voted 73% for Paul Biya. They know it wasn't true. Before this is happening as I came up live. Elekam and Bamenda is refusing these results. But Yaoundé is pushing it on them to announce that Biya won 73% of the vote in Bamenda. That is what is going on. I am telling you because we have sources on the ground. Elekam in Bamenda is refusing these results that I just read to you from the Ministry of Territorial Administration. So that is it for the Northwest and the Southwest. But look at this one. Look at this other one here. This is from Adamawa. That is North. Adamawa is northern Cameroon. The Hausas, a stronghold for Isa Chiroma. Paul Biya won 42% according to the Ministry of Territorial Administration, ladies and gentlemen. 42%. And Isa Chiroma, according to them, had only 40%. In Adamawa, in the north, that is supposed to be a stronghold for Isa Chiroma, that he won, that Biya defeated him with 2%. Bello Buba came out with 17%, Akaremona 1%, Cabral Libi with 1%. That is from Adamawa region. Adamawa region. Now there is this other one here. This is now I think we got this one already. We got that one already. We have this other one now. I think we got that already. Okay. This is now, look at the north. This is supposed to be Garoua. Ladies and gentlemen, look, that is coming from the north of Cameroon, the northern region. That is where Garoua is. You saw the crowds. You saw the crowds yesterday that poured out from Garoua. Look at that. That was a crowd from last night in Garoua. That is a crowd from last night in Garoua. And what Paul Atanganji, ladies and gentlemen, wants you to believe is that all of that crowd you are seeing there went out and they didn't vote for Isaiah Chiroma. They voted for Paul Biya. They voted for Paul Biya. They voted 47% for Paul Biya, according to what they say. That in the north, that is Garoua essentially, the population voted Paul Biya 47%, and that Isaiah Chiroma had only 41% of the vote. Then Bello Buba 11% of the vote, and then Akaremona 1% of the vote, Cabra Libi 1% of the vote, according to the Ministry of Territorial Administration in La République du Cameroon, ladies and gentlemen. From Yaoundé, their center region, this is what Paul Atanganji and his ministry have put out. This is it. Paul Biya, 51% of the vote. Issa Chiroma, 28%. Bello Buba, Maigari, 9%. Akere Mona, 4%. Cabra Libi, 8%. Ladies and gentlemen, again, that is coming from Yaoundé. That is coming from the Ministry of Territorial Administration. The Ministry of Territorial Administration. Yaoundé. I think I have one more of that result, which is not here yet, but I will look for that and bring it to you in the course of this program. But again, the results that I have been reading to you were published by the Department of Elections and Referenda. The Department of Elections and Referenda at the Ministry of Territorial Administration of La République du Cameroon. Now, of course, the department is supervised by Paul Atanganji. It is supervised by Paul Atanganji. That is the fraud that we are talking about here, ladies and gentlemen. That is a fraud we are talking about here. Again, these results, you will recall, are not to be announced by anybody, not even the Ministry of Territorial Administration, because it is a party to the election. Paul Atanganji cannot be the supervisor of the elections, cannot be the announcer of the elections, and they have actually, Paul Atanganji, on the eve of the election, stepped out and threatened nobody dares goes out with premature results of the elections. But these are coming from him. No doubt. Gregoire Owana is now out there telling the world Issa Chiroma has conceded. Issa Chiroma has conceded defeat. Absolutely not the case. Absolutely not the case. You can see, again, this is how the process is supposed to work. ELECAM gather all the results from the polling stations, put them together, submit them to the Constitutional Council. It is the Constitutional Council that that carries out the final announcement. That has not happened. And this morning, the so-called National Communication Council, a body that regulates the media in La République du Cameroun, was out with a statement which I just read here, warning individuals, warning citizens and the media to stay away from publishing any results in their media room or on social media. And yet, the Ministry of Territorial Administration, that should have nothing to do with publishing the results of the elections, is out there disseminating these results that you see on your screen. They have already put out results from 7 regions, and guess who has won all those 7 regions? Paul Biya. Paul Biya. That is why we say it is fraud everywhere in Cameroon. The social media was amok yesterday as people literally put up results in video, in that matter, of the counting of the vote all over the place. But the next day, being today, different results are being churned out by the CPDM regime. And we all know what that means. What that means is that Paul Biya is not going anywhere. Of course, we said this from day number 1. If Paul Biya is still at 93, is still running elections, out having ruled for 43 years. 43 years, ladies and gentlemen. If he was still standing the elections, he wasn't standing to lose. He was standing to win and to do everything, as we are now seeing, to win. That is a picture on the ground at this moment. Again, Issa Chiroma is, I am told, is recording a speech to put out in the public. I am waiting for that speech to be sent to me. The moment I get it, I will read it. I will present it to you, because yesterday I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, Issa Chiroma should step out early morning today and thank Cameroonians for giving him the victory. And some people said, no, he should not do that. He should not do that. Now he is forced to register a statement, record a statement, and put out, running after what the CPDM and the regime is doing. You always have to be in the offensive. You always have to be in the offense, not in the defense, because he is coming out now to try to defend that he won the elections after the CPDM is churning out fraud and wanting the world to believe that Paul Biya won the vote. Every province, every region, every state, every county, every local government, the CPDM won. Shame to the people that run that country, and shame to Cameroonians if they will allow this to happen. Somebody may be saying, but Chris, why are you so much concerned about Cameroon's election? They are not Ambazonian elections. That is true. But we should not be stupid. We should realize that we are affected with everything that takes place in La République du Cameroun for as long as we are still fighting to reclaim our land and reclaim our sovereignty, reclaim our territory. Everything that takes place in that country affects us. And ladies and gentlemen, who wins in that country matters a lot to Ambazonia. Who wins in that country matters a lot to Ambazonia. That we refuse to go in for their elections isn't like we didn't want the opposition to win. Not at all. Not the case. We took a strategic position to remain neutral, Let them fight their game. Let them play their game. And perchance the opposition wins, we are in a stronger position to sit down and negotiate with the opposition. That is why we stayed home. We asked our people to stay home. We knew this will happen. It is going to be a battle, a war, two-front war. And I long predicted this in my monologues, that a lot of people to Cameroon is raising for a two-pronged war, one in the north and one in the south. And I can assure you, Issa Chiroma, he will be very stupid to sit and fold his hands and say, for the interest of peace, for the interest of, I don't want to share blood, like John Frundi said in 1990, for the interest of peace. You lose it. Every election he contested, for the interest of peace, come to lose every election, lost every election he contested. So Chiroma will be stupid to come and say, for the interest of peace, unless they were doing this for their bellies and not for the interest of the suffering masses in that country. So we are watching. We are watching what happens on the ground, ladies and gentlemen. We are watching what happens on the ground. Now, this is, I'm looking at a statement here coming from what they call Project C. Project C, which is a group that is led by Eric Chinje and the rest who are behind Issa Chiroma. They have a statement here that was just forwarded to me. It says, fellow Amazonians, as we approach a historic democratic transition, it is vital that every citizen understands what will happen after election day and how each of our national institutions, including the military, civil service, and judiciary and legislature, must act to uphold peace, stability, and the will of the people. Now, what I don't understand is what they are talking about, upholding peace and stability. When has peace and stability ever exist in that country? I see this as one of the steps to capitulation. Another Frundi, another Canto saying peace, 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 whereas peace doesn't exist. Well, the statement continues. Here is what the Constitution and good governance demand. Step by step. I'm not going to read that nonsense. They should be talking about how they defend the victory they say they have won. That's all it should be. I don't know why they should. They are reading the Constitution to suffering masses who troop to the polls to vote for a candidate they love. Yet they are here trying to quote the Constitution. I wish I had one of these people on this show. All right, but we will get there. We will get there. But that is what is going on the ground, ladies and gentlemen. It is all fraud. I want to take you guys to this video. And by the way, this is a statement coming from Grégoire Owana. I cannot read French. All that I know is that he is saying there that Issa Chiroma has considered. He is saying there that Issa Chiroma has considered, and I think if any law at all exists in that country, that guy should be going to jail. He should be going to jail. The Constitutional Council should be putting him in jail. But look at this image, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this image here. This image is coming from one of their polling stations. One of their polling stations in Libyalam. In Libyalam, I am told this took place in Wabane. You will observe in the video I'm about to show you that only election officials are in that voting station. No other person, nobody Only election officials are there. Look at what they are doing. Observe what they are doing. Only election. Look at election officials. They are the ones doing the voting. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are looking there at the part of the election for one of the voting centers. I am told that was in Waban. You can see the only people in that room are CPDM election officials. There is no other person, and they are essentially doing the voting and the counting. That is called fraud. That is called fraud. All right. I am being joined, ladies and gentlemen, by Eric Chinje, joining me to comment on the piece of information I brought to you earlier about Gregoire Owana putting out there on the social media that Issa Chiroma has considered defeat Now, of course, this goes against the rules of the election results, because even the Ministry of Territorial Administration is out warning people not to make any references to results, to the media, to the social media. But one of them is out there wanting the world to believe Issa Chiroma has conceded. We also have these results of 7 regions put out there by the Ministry of Territorial Administration under the Department of Elections and Referenda, saying that Biya has already won 7 of the 10 regions in La République du Cameroon. Eric, I'm sure you've seen some of those results coming from the Ministry of Territorial Administration, Department of Elections and Referenda. Have you seen them?
Yes, of course I've seen those fake numbers, and I didn't take them seriously at all. You know, they'll do everything, try every trick in the book to convince Cameroonians that the big lie is that a country can be run on falsehoods. But yeah, I don't think it's going to work this time around.
But what do you make of the fact that these numbers are coming from the Ministry of Territorial Administration? They're supposed to have nothing, zero, to do with the pronouncement of results.
Mr. Chiroma has won the 2025 presidential election. Issa Chiroma is the 3rd president of the Republic of Cameroon, and he deserves to be recognized as such and inaugurated in November. That is the truth on which the new republic needs to be built. Anything else is falsehood, and they know it. Everybody in government knows it. We know it. The population knows it, and I don't think they will survive it. I don't think that country will survive it.
I also have seen this social media post from Gregoire Owana stating how Issa Chiroma has considered, but forget about concession. We know that's a fabrication. But when the National Communication Council goes out or put out a statement warning, threatening the media and social media from putting anything out, what should happen to Gregoire Owana?
Exactly. That ought to be, these are the inconsistencies in the system that that expose not only the weaknesses in government, but also expose the fact that we don't have a team that has credibility, has competence. This is part of the incompetencies of this regime. So they're not competent, they're inconsistent, they build a system on falsehoods. And we're not surprised that the country is in the state in which it is. Cameroon is in a deplorable state, and this is all part of the results of the way it is managed.
Now, I've just seen a statement from your group, the Project C. I call it Project C statement. Yes. In which you are outlining the prerequisite for peace, yes, stability and well-being of the people in this time, yeah, of election. And it seems to be, reading, yeah, through that statement, you are not saying that the people should be ready to fight and defend their vote. You are instead trying to intimidate them from defending their vote. That's my summary of my conclusion.
We're not there yet. We're going progressively. We're not, we totally wrote and rewrote that statement. We thought about it very carefully. We are monitoring the situation very carefully. We're putting out a lot of information at this time. We're going on multiple platforms to get the word out, and we cannot be, irresponsible. We do not want the war to break out. But when we get to that, we will endorse it. We will embrace it.
Okay.
We're going. It's a step-by-step process as far as we're concerned.
All right, that sounds good to my ears because it sounded to me like you are essentially telling the people what Frundi did in the 90s and what Kamto did.
Yes, we're
What
not.
Kamto
No,
did.
no, no. We're not going to. We're not going to repeat that experience. Actually, we've learned from that experience, from the 1992 experience. We've learned from the 2018 experience of Mr. Kamto.
Right.
And we're just, we're just going to make sure that what has to happen happens, which is Mr. Chiroma will be president of Cameroon, and if he isn't, then somebody would have to pay the price.
I also read a statement. I read a statement put out by Akere Mona, essentially asking Paul Biya to hand over to the people's choice. What do you make of that?
I think Mr. Biya should do the dignified thing. He's been president. The country has taken care of him for 43 years. He's done what he could. He's demonstrated his, how far he can go in providing leadership. I think it is time Mr. Biya did the honorable thing if he has any love for his country. The honorable thing is to recognize what is indisputable. Chiroma won the election. Chiroma is the people's choice. Chiroma is the candidate of change and of the people. Mr. Biya should recognize this and not let the band of characters around him who stand to benefit with him being president and being the inactive president that he is. Those people want him to stay on, use his name, and continue to milk the republic. I think it is time Mr. Biya did the one decent thing that will give him, that's re-establish his place in history as the guy who introduced an imperfect democracy and demonstrated that democracy is what Cameroon needs at the time when it needs it. I hope he does it. So we're all pleading with Mr. Biya and anybody who has the president's ear at this time to help him understand that he has to leave the stage honorably. All of Africa expects him to do that, and believe me, the world is watching. They should know that.
I learned before coming on live that troops are being moved from southern Cameroon up to the north. I don't know whether you've learned of that. What do you make of it?
Yeah. Yes, there was a massive movement of troops to Garoua. Again, if they were doing the right thing, that would not be necessary.
Right.
If they were absolutely this belief that you can use troops to intimidate, to maim, to destroy, as they have done in the two English-speaking regions of the country. No, we're not going to. That's certainly not the way to resolve a political crisis. The political situation in Ambazonia could have been resolved in many other ways, but with military force. It has never worked and never will. So moving troops to the north to resolve a political problem, it's again another demonstrable error on the part of this government, of its incompetence, of its inability to understand what politics of leadership is all about.
Now, it is my understanding that as we speak, Issa Chiroma is recording a speech to put out to Cameroonian people. Yesterday when we spoke, I said, why should he not wake up today in the morning and tell Cameroonian people without necessarily saying he won, to say, hey, let's defend the vote because the results coming in show us winning. He has to wait until Atanganji is sending out all these tidbits of results from 10 regions, show him losing, and then CPD and leaders like Bigo Awana, they are out on the social media saying how he has conceded. He is coming out to defend himself instead of being on the offensive.
Well, again, part of maybe it's a mistake that others will learn in the future, but I can tell you that the initial attempt was to have him do the speech tomorrow, because it was important not only to see the legal implications of everything he does at this time, But we thought it was necessary for him to actually get into more data, election-related data, based on which he wants to deal in truth, not in the falsehoods of this regime. And then it became obvious, that the CPDM had woken up to a reality which they didn't have. That technology was driving everything on earth today and was also driving our politics. So they woke up to that, and then of course they have the money, they have the resources to pay, people and flood the internet with, misinformation. They did that. But Mr. Chiroma is going to make a very studied, calculated intervention this evening, and going forward, we will make sure to work assiduously to continue to provide the most factual elements about this election to the public and to Cameroonians. We will do that, as Project C. We will do that as part of the leadership team in Cameroon. And that's what we have to do. We have to do things based on facts and on truth, and not allow falsehoods, not allow the self-serving, a self-serving bunch of people. I don't want to call them the word I was going to use is much harsher than that. But we're not going to allow them to determine what the future of this country is.
Talking about the internet, I am learning that I just got this information that Cameroon is shutting down the internet. MTN in particular is shutting down the internet, and people are being advised to use their old orange chips to download VPNs. Have you heard anything about that?
Well, we thought they were going to shut down the internet during the elections, and they obviously didn't, which was a laudable thing. They're concerned about their inability to change the narrative and to impose a different set of statistics, of data that would change the minds of Cameroonians about these elections. They're not going to succeed. There's a simple fact. Elections were held. Mr. Chiroma won in all the major cities, in all the embassies of Cameroon except 3, and in all the regions of the country. So it's they're doctoring a lot of the election data. They're doctoring what came out of the northwest region and the southwest region. They're trying to change all of that, and putting forth a new argument that they're getting data from rural areas.
Yeah.
How many rural areas will it take to counteract the massive win in Douala, and the massive win in Yaoundé, and the massive win in Maroua, in all the major centers of the country, where there are at least 1 million people? How many villages will it take to counteract that? So, their efforts are, it's fine, it's understandable, but they're just not based on facts.
Talking about elections in the diaspora, Eric, I was thinking about that this morning, and I thought, shouldn't Chiroma campaign tell the diaspora, Cameroonians in the diaspora, stay at those embassies until official results are announced? They should occupy those embassies to send a message to everyone who cares.
Chris, I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
A little better, yes.
So you were talking about elections in the diaspora, and I'm asking, shouldn't Chiroma's campaign be saying to Cameroonians in the diaspora, occupy those embassies until official results are announced? Occupy there, stay there until the results are announced.
That's an idea, but I'll tell you that Mr. Chiroma is wants to play by the books and play by the rules, and if they think because they are currently in power and they control the purse, or the treasury, and they control the army, and they can impose a will that is not the will of the people, they will find out when the announcement is made. They will find out. And believe me, we don't need to engage in any scare tactics. We don't need to engage in any dramatic shenanigans. No. We will wait and expect the court to finally rise to the occasion. The Constitutional Council and the elections board in Cameroon will expect them to rise to the occasion. This is a historic moment in the life of that nation. We will expect them to do the right thing so that Cameroon can get back on the right course, so that we can resolve the many crises that prevent this country from becoming the nation it should be. We can resolve the crisis in the former West Cameroon. We can or Southern Cameroons. We can resolve the crisis in the far north of the country. We can get the economy going again. We can bring back electricity and water. There's all kinds of things that need urgent attention for the survival of the nation. We cannot, what we're focusing on, to do the right thing. And I say we because I am in support of I support Mr. Chiroma for the simple reason that he came up with a good program. He wants to address the many crises in the country. He wants to change that constitution so we don't have a monarch for a president. He wants to get to reconcile the country to itself. He wants to organize the national conference so that we can again become a nation and that is looking forward, where people can live together in harmony and to build the country as we should, with all the resources that God gave us. Mr. Chiroma wants to help Cameroon get back on track. And that's why I support him. That's why the vast majority of Cameroonians, electors, supported him. And I am sorry if these people, and through this medium, through this channel, your channel, Chris, if there are any people listening to us who know the player in Yaoundé, they should let them know.
All right.
We are watching. That the international community is watching. And that if they attempt to deny the Cameroonian people what is rightly theirs, they will be responsible before history and before man of the consequences.
All right. Thank you, Eric. Thank you. You have a great night.
Thank you very much, Chris. Thanks for giving me a chance to talk to our fellow brothers and sisters. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Okay, that was Eric Shinje, ladies and gentlemen, giving us an update of what is going on the ground. At this moment, I will open the phone lines. However, I need to remind you, I'm expecting the speech from Issa Chiroma campaign to come to me into the studio. The moment I get that speech, I will read it. To let you know what he is saying out there. Before I open the phone lines, let me say this. Again, some of you out there will be saying, why is Chris so obsessed with French Cameroon election when it has nothing to do with Ambazonia? That is true. However, I have said it and I will say it again, that anything that happens in La République du Cameroon, especially politically, is important to us because it informs what we as Ambazonians do. All right, let me get to this caller here. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Chris.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Where are you calling from?
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm calling from Texas.
All right, Texas, go on, sir. What is on your mind?
Chris, I wanted to find out if the likes of Eric Chinji and the likes of Rebecca and Nonchong, who was here the other day, if they are surprised on the outcome of this, the results that I heard you talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Because I can say 90% of Amazonians are not surprised of these results.
Well, hold on there. You could see in Eric the little remorse, because yesterday I suggested, if I were Chiroma, knowing that I'm not dealing with people who obey the law, I will wake up, the campaign will wake up in the morning, first thing, put out a statement thanking them for giving him victory. And so stay on the offensive and not come out after territorial administration has already put out 7 results from 7 province regions. When their officials agree, Owana is there saying Chiroma lost, right?
Okay, please, it's the second thing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Listen, the second thing I wanted to, even let's assume that Chiroma had won. We do not have, how would he have gotten a government? Nothing would have changed. I say this because we do not have our own, the bank reserve, like Cameroon Bank. Remember, Cameroon Bank, when I talk about Cameroon Bank in those days, it was an Ambazonian, owned.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, Cameroon Bank was Ambazonian owned.
It was Ambazonian. So you cannot run a country when your reserves are being stored by, quite honestly, a competitor, an adversary.
Yeah.
You cannot run a country. So I mean, it's laughable. This whole thing is laughable because it's shocking that people really expected Pobia to lose this election.
Yeah.
They don't seem to understand that everything is being decided by Paris.
Right.
They think it's not. We don't live in a country. It's not a country that obeys laws. They decide the outcome of the election had been decided a long time ago.
Of course.
All these. Anyway, thank you, Chris. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the call. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, Chris. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from, sir?
From Belgium.
Belgium. What is on your mind?
Yes, I want to say what you have just said is really true, because to remove this regime, you have to Chiroma need to come out as soon as possible, and declare his victory, because he won landslide victory. So if he's still waiting, that if they announce the result, Constitutional Council announce the result before he came and be saying people to come out, it will be difficult.
The fact is, hold on there, comrade. Hold on, comrade. The fact is, the trend is there. We are seeing it already. They would have seen it by now, that Frundi did not win, even though you won everything. Kamto did not win. They would have gone to bed yesterday, seeing the result out there, knowing that they have to take it and not be given it.
Yeah. This regime, you have to take it. You have to take your victory. You don't wait for it. You take it. If I had Chiroma number, I could have called Chiroma and tell Chiroma that come out. The people are now hungry to back you up. Come out and proclaim your victory and form your cabinet. Buhari succeeded with Jonathan, because Buhari threatened to say that if you play it, the 2 governments will rule Nigeria, and Jonathan have to concede his feet before even anything.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to participate.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the call. Hello. Hello, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Washington, D.C.
Okay. What is on your mind, sir?
Yeah, this is Oliver Arthur.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for giving me this opportunity. Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go on.
Yeah, so essentially, with Isa Chiruma is from the system, and he knows exactly what goes in the whole place. So, and hello, can you hear me?
Yes, go on.
Yeah, so he's from the system, and he does not want to do anything that will give this rogue regime the possibility of arresting him. And so that's why he's skeptical, declaring that he has won the elections. So because they still have the power, and it's important for him to wedge first. He can say other people like the Union for Change, you can see that have congratulated him, and even the new president of the UNP that has congratulated him. Those people are doing those in his place, and the regime already knows that they have the election. So essentially, you should say, you can talk about the victory without being direct. I think that is very important. And what I'm beginning to foresee is that there's a likelihood that there could be a civil war in Cameroon. And I understand they are withdrawing some troops from Ambazonia and sending them to the northern province.
Yeah, I learned that. And Eric also confirmed that.
That's right. So essentially, remember my outing with you talking about Osman Ume on our going back to the north. They have been preparing for this moment for a long time, and all of them were behind Isa Chiroma to resign and run. Both those who are in and out of prison. So the far north is mobilized, and even though we have about 80% of generals in Cameroon from the Kangbeti Bulu tribe, they don't fight. Generals don't fight war. It's the soldiers.
Yeah.
And I can guarantee you that the majority of the soldiers in Cameroon are not for beer. So if there's a war, when there's civil war, it does
They may not be for beer, but if they control the troops.
That's right. But you're going to see that it will not just be the northerners, but both who are in the military and those who are coming out. Everybody will come an instant soldier. That is going to happen, and you will have the majority of the soldiers in the Cameroon army, whether it's Air Force, Naval, or infantry, are going to join the people. So that civil war is going to be bloody, and I don't think the regime can win that civil war.
All right.
So essentially, I am thinking that if we were by Paul Biya himself, he will sit and give power to Chiroma. But there's the people surrounding him like Ngongo and their cronies that will want to fake Atangi and so on, who want to fake the results and have him think that he can still stay in power. But remember that even in 1992, when Furundi won, Paul Biya wanted to resign. It is the people around him that said, wait, let's see. And you know that they have all come out and confessed their videos in so many platforms. So it is not in 2025 when Paul Biya is so afraid that he will want to stay in power. So the people around him are the people because they themselves want to keep stealing the wealth, and also they are afraid of their situation, their safety, and all whatnot because of the things that they have done to destroy the country.
All right. So
with the rest, I think this is a very important time for Ambazonians to get ready.
Yeah.
When the civil war breaks out in La Republic, that's the time to secure the boundaries. So
all right, thank you.
Job in that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you. Where are you calling from, please?
I'm calling from London.
Okay, ma'am, what is on your mind?
I want to disagree with whoever is speaking at the moment, because he's saying that it's the people around Paul Biya that don't want him.
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you. Where are you?
I can hear you. Lower the volume of your TV or what it is and focus on your phone. I'm hearing you.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Go on.
What I'm trying to say is that Paul Biya is the most greedy president in the whole world, because these children have been out there giving their vote to Chioma.
I'm hearing you. Go on.
Hello?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Go on.
Okay, what I'm saying is that
Lower the volume of your set in the background. You are hearing yourself in the
I
background.
have increased it. I've increased the volume.
Okay, go on.
What I think, for there to be a change in Cameroon, there's gonna be a war.
Okay.
There's gonna be a civil war.
Okay.
So people should condition their mind that for us to fight for this,
Okay. All right.
for us to, we have to condition our mind that we need to fight.
Okay.
So all this that Eric Chinja is saying, I do appreciate what he's saying. I've got a lot of respect for him, but we should all stick together and fight for Cameroon, because it is our right.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you for the point. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Comrade Chris.
Can you lower the volume of your TV in the background and focus on your phone, please?
Yes, I have done that.
Where are you
Can
calling
you get
from?
me?
Yes, I can hear you. Where are you calling from?
I am calling from the Kingdom of Norway.
Wonderful. What is on your mind, sir? 50 seconds.
Yes. Oh, thank you very much, Comrade Chris. We have a problem. We are dealing with a regime that has captured Cameroon for more than 60 years.
Yeah.
First of all, I want to inform the La République people that La République is a state, or I would say a province under France. The French are controlling La République. Whatever the situation now is, the people, so rather unfortunate, the Yaoundé people, the indigenous living in Yaoundé and Douala, I don't see how angered they are, because the population we saw yesterday from the north, it was a wake-up call for Yaoundé and Douala to get up and join. It's a revolution that is supposed to take out the CPDM and the French colonialists away from this part of Africa. So, there is no regime, there is no dictator that has ever won on elections. You have just provided what Akanganji has just has come out as far as the elections in the seven regions. So, if the people of La République, because Ambazonia is not part of this,
Yeah.
the people of La République knows this. They have to start defending, and this is a high time, because the spirit of everybody, there is no time to waste. Because when you go one day, the momentum is dying. They are not like us. They are not like Ambazonia, that we can sit, we can wait. It's supposed to be happening now. They start taking up the arm if they have, and I don't know if Chiruma has plan B, which I doubt, because he came into these elections not knowing that he was going to have this population. He was not prepared, because if he had a plan B, he could have activated that plan B now.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Let's go to the other callers. I appreciate it. Hello. Hello.
Yes, my name is Gabriel from from Maryland. I live from Cameroon, especially from Bafoussam.
Okay. What is on your mind, sir?
Yes. I have just one message to Ataranji and the regime.
Okay.
Yes, if Ataranji think that this is, as the area said, that this is 1992, that happened to Fundi and Canto, Maurice Canto, we say that this time around we are ready, we are prepared. Of course, I know they are listening. We are ready, we are prepared. The earlier they hand the government to us, which is inside Choroma, then everything will be fine. But if they proceed by saying that they have won the election, then they should be ready for the severe consequences. But now we are just watching. We want to allow them to play the game as they have been playing. But if they dare to give us our victory, because we won this election, and if they don't give the victory to us, then they should be ready and prepared for the consequences. It's not going to be like what happened to Southwest and Northwest. It's going to be a real what they want to see, and they will see it. Be ready and we prepare. That's all I want to offer tonight.
Thank you
very much, Mr. Chris.
Thank you. Hello. 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 All right. When you call, you have to stay by your phone. I won't pick the call and wait for you to respond. Hello.
Hello, good evening. I can hear you.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Poland.
Poland. Wonderful. What is on your mind, sir?
I just wanted to say, to reiterate what some of the previous callers have said.
Okay.
I just realized that the fight in Cameroon is actually just not against Paul Biya, but against the entire regime. The people like the Atangangis who are behind him, supporting him, because at 93, I don't believe he actually has the mental capacity to even do some of the things that they are saying he is doing or saying he can actually do at the moment.
Yeah.
And the way I'm seeing things, if they are not ready to hand over power peacefully, and then what is going to happen is there is going to be a civil war in Cameroon. That is the direction it is going. I've always been hoping for a very long time that maybe change could happen in Cameroon peacefully, but with the way things are going, if they are not ready to relinquish power, then I think it's really going to be a bad thing for the country, because I can see a civil war coming.
But you are talking of a people who don't have the courage to fight for what they believe in. They've been saying civil war from the days of Frundi, and Kamto came and gone, and they did nothing. Even with what anti-Sardinat was doing in Europe and all over the place, giving him all the money, he did nothing. Why do you think they are now ready to fight?
Because I think they now have the momentum that they've never had.
They had momentum in the days of Kamto, in the days of Frundi.
Because I really think this is actually the last chance for Cameroon to take over the country from the people who have been keeping the country hostage, because it's unimaginable what is happening at the moment.
Well, I hope you are correct. Let's wait and see. Thanks for the call.
Thank you for having me.
Hello. 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 All right. Hello. When you call, you have to stay on your phone. If once I pick your call and you can't respond, I move on, because there's so many people calling. Hello.
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 Yes, Comrade Chris. Good evening. I'm calling from Leeds.
From Leeds, England. All right. Good.
England.
Yeah, all right. What is on your mind, sir?
Yes, I'm just calling to
I'm hearing you.
Yes, I'm calling to say I think this is not the time for us to sit and be saying this. I just want to add my voice to your own voice because at the moment I'm so bitter. Hello?
Yes, go on, I'm hearing you.
Yes, I'm calling to add my voice to yours because from the respect, I have respect for Eric Chinger, but what he said, I don't think they are ready for it. They want to make the same mistake Mr. Fundu did in the 90s.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it is time for us for them to activate the plan B because it is insane to feel like they start and they thought that the government is ready to relinquish power without a fight. So it is time for them to act. They were supposed to have anticipated that by this moment they will activate the plan B. Like you said yesterday, it was time for Shuruma to get up early in the morning and address and give a message of thanks to the people.
Yeah.
They never did. So now the system is working ahead of him.
Yeah. They are all there out there proclaiming the results by the.
Follow what you said yesterday.
Yeah, they are all out there. They all got up this morning proclaiming the results of the election, but they dare him or any of his followers to do the same.
Yeah, so that is so. I'm in the same path, that same lane. When the idea you gave yesterday, I was in that same path. So it's so disappointed now.
All right, thank you.
Thank.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
I can barely hear you, sir. Can you raise your voice?
Yeah, Chris, good evening.
Good evening. Where are you calling from?
This is Ground Zero.
Okay, what is on your mind?
Yeah. I think we'll finally go out tomorrow.
What will go out tomorrow?
I mean, us, the population, we, the population, will be going out tomorrow.
Okay. And is somebody rallying you guys to go out tomorrow?
No. We are just informed. We are updated now. We are being updated.
Where are you in are you in Ambazonia or in La Republique?
I'm in Mezam.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for the call.
Chris.
Thank you for the call.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Hello. Hello. Okay, I lost that caller. Hello. Hello. Okay. Hello. 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 Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Newcastle.
Newcastle, England. I love the team.
Yeah. Chris, I just some few points to make here. The first one is Cameroon is so divided, and we are not surprised to see that the Northerners came out yesterday, but there have been no such crowd following in the littoral or in the central region.
Yeah.
So, and the second point is for Eric Chinje and all the other people that you've been inviting.
Yeah.
That are so pro-Cameroonians, but somehow they have the DNA of Ambazonia in their blood.
Yeah.
So the first thing for them to know is the technology they were claiming that they do have, and the technology will be able to take them to power. Can they now show us what the technology is?
Well, don't be worried about that.
It's being used.
Yeah, it's being used against them.
The technology actually is being used by the regime to surpass them. So they were talking of technology, but for now we can't see anything like that, can we?
Well, even though I would say it worked to a certain level because the technology proved they won, but then you sat still until now you have to come from behind to assert your victory.
Unfortunately not, Chris. I'll disagree with you, because the technology can only prove they won if first and foremost the technology could tell us how many people actually voted, how many people voted in the villages, how many people voted in the cities, but they don't have that record. Today
Right.
they don't have it. So, and the last point, just really quick here, Chris, is the same way Eric Chinje is saying he can fight and fight for Cameroon. Can we see the same vigor when it comes to Ambazonia?
Well, of course, they are not Ambazonians, they are Cameroonians. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Great point made.
Thanks.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir. This is Mike Fusi, I guess.
Yes, Comrade Rich.
What is on your mind, sir?
Yes, I am very surprised to hear from Comrade Eric Chinje, because we told him what was going to happen. We told him this is exactly what was going to happen, and I'll be very shocked if they did not prepare for this eventuality. They should have had a plan B. If this should happen, they simply fall back on their plan B. But it seems they are just scrambling now to see what they can do. They should have known this was coming. And secondly, there's one group that is really not being talked about enough in what is happening in the Republic of Cameroon, and that is their military. In other countries, situations like this, a responsible military will step in and stabilize the situation. Given Fobia's mental state and his longevity in power, the military should have stepped in and said, no, enough is enough. And taking into consideration that they are the ones that have suffered the most, especially with regards to...
I get you, but you are talking of which military? The military that was recently reshuffled and Biya appointed his tribesmen to lead every battalion. They cannot. You don't expect it to do that. How many Hausas are generals, commanders?
Many of these changes normally don't take place at the top. I don't think Ibrahim Traore was a top military rank, one of the top.
Well, you got a point.
Yeah, so it does not require a general or someone of that rank to make the change. Because first of all, the burden of this war is being borne by the lower ranks. They should be the ones to stand up and say, you know what, we are sick and tired of this, and we're ending this thing.
Right. All right. Thank you. Let me get to other callers here.
All right.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Where are you calling from, sir?
I'm calling from Nigeria.
Okay, and what is your contribution, sir?
Hello.
I'm hearing you. Lower the volume of your television set. Focus on your phone.
Okay, and what is your contribution, sir?
All right. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, comrade, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
From Ground Zero.
Okay, and what is on your mind?
Yeah, I think what is going on now, I want to say that if Amazonian leaders would cling on power and not want to relinquish power, it is because they learn from these old people in Cameroon. And I want to also say that there is time for everything. No matter how long one will say that the lion, King Kong, but the elephant that no one can run. The time has come, and Cameroonians of the French speaking should rise up and fight and take over the night. I think that is just that.
All right. I hope that those Amazonian leaders sit tight that you talk about. I hope they hear you. Thank you for the call. All right, the phones are blazing here, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, come on, please. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from La Republic.
And what is on your mind, sir?
Yes, I think from what I've heard, I'm not seeing this a lot of public people. They have prepared. So they have not yet prepared. Because at this particular junction now, I think what should be their focus is to know where the ministers are living. If they want to have a little break, or maybe they are hoping on the final result. I think at this particular junction they should be focusing to know where their ministers, where their houses is, and their family houses, all of their location. That should be their focus at this particular junction. And also, those people that rig the election in the favor of the regime, they should make sure they know where they are living to prepare the ground level. Because if La Republic citizens are waiting that Chirum, what they call Atanganji, and the other people will finally reach the result, proclaim the result, say Chiruma has won, say you should come and take. It would never happen.
Well, we said it from beginning. Yeah. Yeah.
It will never happen in that country. Atanganji will never allow such a thing to happen because, first of all, right now in Yaoundé, Atanganji is like Atanganji is a refugee. That is his last hope.
Yeah.
If they remove Paul Biya from power and they give the power to somebody, where is Atanganji going to go? He doesn't have anywhere to go. Other ministers can go. Those ministers in La Republic, they can go to their villages and begin to manage their life. Atanganji doesn't have anywhere to go. He cannot stay in Ambazonia.
Right, of course not. Well, you don't forget Atanganji. Don't forget Atanganji has a Yaoundé woman, so they go to the village there, the wife's village, and remember he built a church there, right?
If another person take over, they will not even allow him to stay there in peace. That is a problem. Because that's not his village.
Right.
His village in Santa, in Ambazonia, he cannot live there. So La Republic, that Biya government is the last hope of Atanganji and some few ministers there. So if Chiruma is sleeping in North, waiting that one, they will finally proclaim the result that is the one who have won, that he should come and take the seat. He is wasting his time. It will never happen in this generation.
Let me ask you. I know this thing is about Cameroon and their elections, but I can assure you, in the eventuality of civil strife over there, Ambazonians, Southern Cameroonians living in Yaoundé can be in big trouble. What are you hearing out there? Are they concerned? Are they in fear of what could happen?
Actually, many of us who are here, we are afraid. But the truth is that at this particular junction, if things go some kind of way, none of us will go to the streets. It is left to them now because what we are facing in our own area, we cannot join it because when in 2016, when we started, I think that was a time that this government should have at least things. But when we started, none of them never supported us. They were quiet.
Yeah.
And now they allow their government to give all kind of fake information about Ambazonia to tell them that we want to separate the country. Which from the beginning in 2016, this issue was not about separation, but they finally pushed us to accept the Ambazonia that are calling us here. So what we are saying now, the only thing left for them is to begin to locate those ministers' homes, locate their family houses, because that's the only way they can remove this vampire from power. Because this result that they are saying, this result that we have been hearing that Chiruma has won, the old people will say that thing is that they are social media. That they will tell you.
Yeah, exactly, and that is what I said yesterday. All right, thank you for the call, sir.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you.
Hello. Hello, sir.
Yeah,
where are you calling?
Chris. Chris.
Oh, this is Uncle B. How are you, sir?
Great.
All right. What is on your mind?
Say one little thing there, Comrade Chris.
Go on, please.
Yes, what I've been listening to senior comrade Eric, I don't know how people can sit, as you'll be saying over and over, that if Ichirima did not learn from Fundi or from Camp 2, and is thinking that miracle, who is going to read the result? And who is going to give the result to the person to read? If they think that they are waiting for the result to be read, who is going to give the result to the person who is going to read? It's a time is going to give something different from what they are sending out there.
I don't know whether you are watching your screen. Those are the people to read the results.
That's it. The people gathering the result are the antagonists. They are the ones who hand what is, because the court do not gather results. They can gather results and send them to the court. So if antagonist is really telling or what they are going to send to the court, so what do we expect the court to read? That will be different from that.
Of course.
I don't want people to know that. I mean, it's building castles in the air to think that when they call read. And again, let me give one scenario here. When you have somebody who is sick for long and when that person passes away, it reduces the stress or the shock that it will give to you. But it's somebody that dies abrupt. It gives you the energy to cry. So what Larbe doing is sending those things out, preparing our minds, reducing our tension, or you get it gradually. When the thing comes up, you will not have that ability for it to take you as a shock.
Yeah.
So that's why they are trying to tame down our anger by delaying and then when they say it, we'll say, okay, they already said it, or already knew it, but this is when, and I'm reading from here that the Chirima is in hiding.
Yeah, since yesterday.
I hope they know what. Yeah, I hope they know what they are doing, because they will be the buffoonery of the season. That if they cannot do anything from past experiences, then they were not ready, or it was also of a game. But then the final thing here, who is going to read this, or who is going to assemble the result to give to who is going to read? That person will read what is going to be given to him, and by who? By Tagaji.
Yeah.
Simple. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for the call. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will take a brief break out. We're trying to connect Rohaya Chiroma, who is the daughter of Isa Chiroma. We're trying to connect her to see if she can give us any updates on the speech that the father was recording. Hello. Hello. All right, we will take a brief break out, ladies and gentlemen. We will take a brief break out, and when I come back, again, we will try to see if we can connect with Rohaya Chiroma. So please, stay tuned and enjoy this piece of Ambazonia music.
C'est quoi, c'est cool, je sais what up with. Oh, 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 c'est cool, je sais what up with. That concept, grand ago. Mukuba, Mate, Mechi, Agway, Pita, Eno, Ancien Treva, Wangano, Murukwa, Aquaticaba, Eyon Atem, Wangano, Aquaticaba, Arremoni, Wangano, Wangano, Aquaticaba, Etigan Sawadi, Wangano, Muruba, sare mare kine bagabari bacha sabe kine bagabari bacha sabe kine bagabari otete baguma kama kangba pukwa kangba puku otete baguma kama kangba pukwa otete baguma kama kangba puku.
Je peux vous dire que le vote populaire, nous l'avons gagné. Le vote populaire, nous l'avons gagné. Personne ne peut nous battre à travers les urnes. Personne. Et toute la classe politique s'accorde à dire que cette victoire, non seulement nous l'avons gagnée, il faut mobiliser le peuple qui a voulu le changement, le mobiliser, en faire un partenaire déterminé et décidé à défendre la victoire telle qu'elle se sera prononcée à travers les urnes. Ce qui nous attend, je pense que demain ou après-demain, peut-être demain, aujourd'hui c'est lundi, personne ne peut nous vaincre. Nous devons continuer tout de suite à EDA parce que nos camarades à EDA veulent me voir, veulent qu'on échange quelque chose. Je préconisais de pouvoir continuer sur Garoua parce que nous avons 2 très grands meetings. Oussou nous a lancé un défi, mais on va lui démontrer que dans une certaine mesure, il a encore à apprendre de lancer. Quand je suis arrivé, j'ai vu ce que j'ai vu. La foule était tellement abondante que je ne pouvais même pas sortir. Et dit oui, il s'est frotté à un juge. Il verra bien, ce sera la République. Merci beaucoup. En tout cas, le MSNC désormais existe. Partout où je passe, c'est précis.
Non, là, il a passé un bon message. Oui, quand c'est bon, c'est bon.
All right. That was Issa Chiruma. I did not get that clip from the campaign, ladies and gentlemen.
La victoire, là, ça appartient au peuple. Je vous ai dit ici que la majorité des personnes qui sont derrière Issa Chiruma, là, non, c'est pas parce qu'ils aiment vraiment Issa Chiruma, c'est que c'est la part.
All right. Again, that was Issa Chiruma himself addressing his supporters, I guess, up north. I did not get that clip directly from the campaign, but I guess when I came live, he was recording that. He was doing that address, and it is now circulating somewhere out on social media, but you can hear him. He says he is rallying his supporters to rise up and defend the victory, defend the vote. I hope that is clear enough, and I hope that the intention is very clear and they mean what they say. I will be calling it a day, but before I do that, let me get to the phones one more to these callers from Ground Zero. Hello. 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 All right. We lost that caller. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was it today. I will be coming back tomorrow, I guess tomorrow, to continue with this discussion on the subject of Cameroon election. But as things stand, it is very clear that Cameroon is prepared. The Cameroon government is prepared to rig the elections and announce the results they want, not the results as voters elected or voted yesterday at the polling stations. That is that for tonight. You have a great night. I look forward to being back here tomorrow. Good night.